Oh, good morning, y'all. So I am just about ready. I have not been able to stop staring at that TV. I just got done watching a Lifetime movie, and I am getting ready to have some pineapple upside down cake and some milk, and then I'll go to sleep. But I'm gonna try to get my butt up at about like 10 o'clock so I can 10 or 11 to try to switch my sleep back around. But I got one more thing I need to do before I go to sleep anyway. I think I may be able to just wait until later today to do it. I wanted to come and have a very important conversation. And sadly, there may not be many people that see this live because of the blacklisting of this channel, but guess what? This video, this live stream, this conversation that I am getting ready to have with you guys is very important. And in particular, this conversation is for women, but also for the good men of this world, to prepare them and to also open up some eyes to people. It's time for the goddess to awaken. And the goddess that has awakened, she is about life, but she is also about death. And you have to be able to master this world around you. I don't want to say that the world has changed, but we are experiencing in the world around us a lot of misogyny coming from both men and women, a lot of thievery, a lot of evolution of spirit. And in this world that we live in, you have to be dual. Maybe not all of us. It wouldn't be our story. It would really depend on, I guess, luck of the draw, right? It would depend on who you've known. Just so happened that a person that I knew led to this huge spiritual warfare and struggle that I am kicking ass at. And I wanted to come and talk to you guys about the real of what's going on. You live in a world, the world around you. You don't have to necessarily live in that reality, but the world around you is corrupt. People are corrupt. And it's a lot of things going on to where people want to steal or switch identities with you. Now, the world around us has always been like this. As a woman, either you are going to be successful with opulence because of your brain, because of your mind, because of your wisdom, or you're going to get shit on. I was looking at this interesting story about Aleister Crowley. And Aleister Crowley had a love affair with his babysitter, or was it the housekeeper? I think it was the housekeeper. And he had an affair with this person in his mother's bed, and the mother caught them having an affair. Now, obviously, whoever this babysitter or housekeeper was, I don't remember the story, but obviously she was in the wrong. So this is kind of a bad analogy, but I'm still going to go with it. It's kind of a good example. Okay, because most of the women that I am acquainted with and that I would consider to be a friend and somebody that can sit with me would not babysit or either, well, I wouldn't be a housekeeper to begin with. I'm not saying that that's too good for me. I'm not saying that because, there's a lot of people that have very successful housekeeping businesses that they run. But anyway, but y'all know what I'm saying, right? Uh, so apparently, Aleister Crowley's mother was upset about it, which I would be as well. Because I'm thinking that Aleister Crowley was 17, 16. He was too young. Anyway, the mother smeared her all over town. And she ended up being found dead years later, murdered by Jack the Ripper because she had became a prostitute because she couldn't find work. Because she was stigmatized and she had to turn to sex work to survive. But then she didn't survive because she was murdered by Jack the Ripper. So we all know that Aleister Crowley, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to his mother, because that's fucking crazy to ruin somebody to the point where they feel that they have to turn to sex work. Now, the lady obviously was wrong to begin with, but it is what it is, okay? Here's my point that I'm making. Our society is a bit sexist, isn't it? We got to fight the patriarchy and men devaluing women who are single, even though that's stupid because a woman can be single until she meets the right person. They want to take that right away from you, right? They want to take that right away from you, right? They want to determine your value as a woman, and they hate women. They're misogynists. In fact, in particular, we have a president in office who I believe hates women right now in history. It's like the worst time in history for women. It is. But anyway, I don't care too much about politics anyway, so it is what it is. However, here's my point. You are either going to go out and fulfill your dreams and be successful in life in what you want to do, or you're not. And in this world that we live in, the world around us, you can't really trust a lot of these men. You can't trust them. They think, which is a fallacy, but unfortunately, it's just the way that it is. They believe in, and they will harass you about it, they believe that they should be able to determine your value, your worth, and pick and choose your path for you. So, this is one of the reasons why I reject religion for the most part, okay? And why I think it should be rejected, because I think that it gives that whole patriarchal thing empowerment to the point where, as a woman, you can be labeled as a whore and devalued while people are trying to take everything from you. Even though you're intelligent, you're powerful, you're smart, you respect yourself, some of us even have an impressive resume. It doesn't matter. A man thinks that he can choose to label you, stigmatize you, okay? Turn you into nothing but a whore, destroy your reputation. Now, the rest of the world knows that if you sleep with a man, that doesn't make you a whore. However, it can be somewhat convenient for the world around you because people are stupid. I was talking about that earlier. I was talking about how people are so programmed. Like, for example, I was talking about my significant other and how I would marry him, right, to a friend of mine. And we got to talking about bachelor parties. You know, and some of those bachelor parties can get really wild. In fact, I've seen video footage in social media of, people doing some pretty wild things because you're getting ready to lose your freedom. And this is the last hoorah before that happens. And you know what I think of that? I think that it just goes to show how programmed most people in this world are, which is why I wouldn't get married unless it was for love, not because I need some kind of status symbol, right? Why would I want to even get married to begin with if I felt like I was losing my freedom? So most people in this world around you are factually stupid. They're programmed. And a lot of people, they go along with the crowd, with the trends. It's a lot of weak minded people. So that's just one example of the stupidity. Because when I get married, I am not going to have a bachelorette party where I allow another man to dangle his penis in front of my face. That's stupid to me. So, y'all get what I'm saying. Anyway, the world that you live in allows it. They allow this crap. They allow it. They accept it. And it is because they figure, well, that's just more for me. You living in a dog eat dog world where people in general don't care. They don't care. So, out here in this world, if you have a male or anybody trying to take your jewels away from you, trying to stick you and stigmatize you with the label of a whore when you are a powerful high priestess, you have to fight fire with fire. Because that good girl crap don't work. Oh, I'm just goody two shoes and God loves me. And I'm going to cross my legs and clutch my pearls. No. People will try to take from you the you that you created. And they will try to change it into something that you are not. One of the biggest ways that they do that, and how a lot of these tragedy, insufferable types of males have done that, is how? Socially. By slandering you, by lying on you, by being disrespectful to you. Men who are disrespectful to women should not be tolerated at all. Any woman that sits back underneath a disrespectful man that tries to turn women into whores and tries to take from them, well, that woman is canceled. She canceled. Her vagina is dead and she's canceled. Period. End of story. Because, well, number one, it's unnecessary. If you have evolved spiritually and you truly have an understanding of that, then you would understand that they are doing that unnecessarily and for nothing. Because when you get to the end of the road, they are going to have nothing, and so will you. You will end up with nothing if you don't take back your power. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to take it back. You don't ask for it back. You don't need nobody's permission to take back your power from a man that has tried to reduce you from a high priestess with a crown, a very intricate crown on your head, to try to reduce you to a woman that lays down to have sex for money. You would think that at this point in society in 2025 that men could simply be stoned to death for even trying it. So this is why we are fighting fire with fire. And we're going to continue to do it. Being nice and saying, oh, I just want to be respectful and professional and things of that nature. Well, yeah, but in certain circumstances, If you work for a company and you need to be professional at a business meeting, okay, that's understandable. But in some situations, you have to be a demonic bitch because people will have you dead, starving, out on the streets, and they don't care and they will take everything from you if you let them. Have you struggling, unfulfilled in life? And some of them will even go as far as to try to ruin your heart, ruin your mind, ruin your body, ruin your looks, ruin your reputation so that you can't have no man and no happiness and no sex and no love for the rest of your life. So you don't go and get bitter and say, I'm done with all men. Get out of that. That's what they want you to do because half of these men out here want the same dick that you got. You have to fight fire with fire, especially if you are in a situation where everything that you love is under threat. Everything that you want is under threat. So the goddess that has awakened has said, okay, so they tried it, but guess what? We're going to see them to their graves. Because if we allow people like that to run amok, well, there will be no world. There's no future for the future generations. That's why you have to stand strong against them. They are destroying the future for the future generation, for your children, for my children, for the whole world. And they'll do it simply because what? Because they're stupid and they're unevolved or angry or just emotional about something. They're confused about what actually makes them a man. So the goddess is saying, do or die when it comes to these men, especially these men in the workplace. Now, I don't have a regular job. I haven't worked in 10 years. I was in the workforce for 30 years. And when I was in the workforce, the last serious job that I had in corporate was at Sprint as a provisioning specialist, a service provisioning specialist, and I experienced sexual harassment. And then I experienced being demoted because I reported it. So instead of me being protected at that time, I was shamed. People will take everything from you. You know what you got to do to thieves? Cut their hands off. I'm not talking about literally. I'm figuratively speaking. Cut their hands off and cut their goddamn tongues out of their mouth. Period. Because otherwise, people will take everything from you, including you. Your consciousness, they'll take it from you. They'll steal it from you. And if they can't steal it from you, they'll try to oppress you. And if they can't oppress you, then they'll try to sabotage you. I'm gonna tell you something. When I started fighting fire with fire, that was it. Can't go back. You can't go back. I'm gonna tell you something. Why, as a woman, are we living in a world where we even have to do that? So they don't have no reason. They don't have no right to judge you. And I wish that I would have started fighting fire with fire 10 years ago, because I would have had a head start. You have to fight for what you want, and not physical fight. It's a spiritual fight. It's a spiritual fight, because that's why it's happening. It's because of spirituality, because of spirit, because of the never-ending human quest to try to define who is God for other people, so that they can oppress, enslave, use, and abuse and take from you. And it's mainly the woman that they take from. Okay? So the goddess is saying, nope, we're going to fight fire with fire, and we're going to destroy them. That's why I'm glad the man that I'm dealing with is not about that life. I'm so happy about that. He's a decent, humble man, and I deserve him. Okay, but a lot of these women out here, they gonna lose they men. They gonna lose them to the goddess is going to consume them until there is nothing left. And they need to be. Because guess what? If the goddess does not consume them, they're gonna consume us. Once the war is over, we don't want to talk about it no more. Guess what we're gonna be doing? We're gonna be sitting at a pretty little table with paisley printed teacups, sipping tea and cookies. And we don't have to talk about it no more. It'll be a memory way far in the distance that we don't have to think about or think about no more. Now, will we? Okay? That is the message from the goddess today. I gotta go. I'm about to drink my milk and have my pineapple upside down cake. I hope that you guys have a great Sunday. I will see you guys later. Visit divineservicesapothecary.com, and I will see you guys next time. Blessings. Bye.